So let's talk about a pretty wild story that's resurfaced. And it has everything to do with James Bond and one very bold take from actor Matthew Goode. You might know Goode from films like Matchpoint or shows like The Crown. But what you may not know is that he almost, very almost, got a shot at playing 007 in Casino Royale. That is, until he shared his version of Bond, and let's just say it didn't exactly go over well. Goode recently appeared on the Happy Sad Confused podcast and opened up about his one-shot meeting with Barbara Broccoli, the longtime producer of the James Bond franchise. This was back in the early 2000s, when the search was on for the next Bond, before Daniel Craig eventually took the role. Goode never made it to the actual audition stage, and here's why. He told Broccoli that if they wanted Bond to feel authentic, they needed to take it back to the books. Not the suave, polished spy we're used to, but a deeply troubled man. Goode's vision? James Bond as an alcoholic, a drug addict, a man who hates himself, hates women, hates people in general. Basically, a dark, broken soul who just happens to be a world-class killer. Now, Goode admitted, with a good dose of self-deprecating humor, that by the time he finished pitching this brooding version of Bond, Broccoli was already mentally on to the next candidate. He even joked, "What I should have said was, but also incredibly charming." Oops, while Goode's take might sound shocking, it's actually not completely off base from the more tortured Bond Daniel Craig eventually portrayed, especially in Skyfall and No Time to Die. But Goode clearly took things several steps too far for that era, painting 007 as less of a spy and more of a deeply damaged anti-hero. It was bold, it was creative, but in the end, it was too much. Fast forward to today, and the Bond baton is set to be passed once again. With Amazon now owning the franchise and Dune director Denis Villeneuve attached to direct the next film, we're seeing a shift in tone, possibly even in casting. Insiders say Amazon is eyeing actors under 30, including Jacob Elordi, Tom Holland, and Harris Dickinson. A younger, fresher Bond is clearly the goal. But Goode's moment remains a curious, fascinating what-if in the Bond universe. Would a version of Bond as broken and brutally honest as Goode pitched ever work on screen? Maybe. But in 2006, it got him a polite smile and a swift goodbye. Stay subscribed for more videos.